Some of the surviving flyers, inventors, and jetpack groupies gathered in Niagara Falls, New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first Rocketbelt convention.
I felt it was important to honor the people of Western New York who worked in aviation. This was the cradle of the space industry. The minds that were here were remarkable. There were so many inventions that came out of this place, and a lot of them are still classified. We don't even know the extent.
Under an Army program called Operation Grasshopper, a contract was awarded to Bell to develop the Rocketbelt.
My name is Harold Graham, and I had the good fortune of being the first Rocketbelt pilot to fly free flight in the world.
That flight, while not much longer than a grasshopper's, a mere 13 seconds, was a big boost to the Rocketbelt program.
One of the most spectacular developments is the Rocketbelt. It has captured the imagination of everyone who has seen it, and hundreds of thousands have been thrilled by the sight of a man floating through the air with no visible support.
I started with Bell in 1964. I was hired at 19 years of age. The Army had hoped to someday have the average foot soldier with a flying machine like this.
The Rocketbelt uses hydrogen peroxide to produce superheated steam. This provides the thrust to lift the operator and propel him through the air at speeds up to 40 miles an hour.
This is actually the rocket motor. When the peroxide is sprayed into there and hits the silver catalyst, the peroxide decomposes. Now that extra molecule of oxygen is released. So now you have water and oxygen in 0.2 of a millisecond. The reaction temperature is 1,388 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's instant heat. Now you have water and heat, so you have steam. And what's driving it is steam.
President Kennedy witnessed a demonstration at Fort Bragg.
Well, my favorite memory has got to be the JFK flight.
Harold Graham, who was the first to fly the Rocketbelt, performs for the president.
I got to salute him. Probably 8 feet away, and I guess he saluted me back. Right about then, I was, still a little nervous about the flight. Well, hey, the President of the United States, I mean, where do you go from there?
We were making a tactical film for the Army. There were the different missions we were flying. I was flying over all those old buildings, and I noticed my shadow racing ahead of me, and it was distracting. And it was the first time you ever really got the feeling of what it is you're doing. Like, holy mackerel, that's my shadow. And for 21 seconds, you don't want to pay attention to that too long. This now was 1969. We were in the middle of the Vietnam War and the space program and everything else. There was no money. They're spending $1 billion on an aircraft carrier. There isn't a couple million for these projects.
Without much progress in extending flight times, Rocketbelt funding disappeared. But for some, the Rocketbelt obsession never died.
My name is Will Braden Madden, and I come all the way over from Ireland. I'm currently building one of these things. It's called the Sham Rocket.
I'm totally bitten by the rocket bug. Some guys close their eyes and see women. I see rockets. Many years ago, there was a rocket-powered chair, basically where they took the Rocketbelt and they attached it to a chair right out of an office. And I went a little bit further than that. My particular rocket here has 4 nozzles on it, so consequently, I think it'll be much more stable. And also, I'm able to carry more fuel. The fuel is very, very heavy. It's almost 13 pounds per gallon, so I feel that this would be much easier to fly. And hopefully, my wife will be the first woman ever in the world to be able to fly untethered.
Building a Rocketbelt, it's got to be the craziest thing in the world. You have a dream of building, but we're getting there. I have colleagues at work. They all think I'm mad, completely mad. My main job is I'm a captain on the Boeing 767, which is completely different to flying a Rocketbelt.
These days, the most advanced Rocketbelt is piloted by Eric Scott. With 40 flights a year, he's the big dog of Rocketbelt today.
I'm prepared to do a demonstration flight. From here to the end of the street, I'll fly up over the Huey Cobra there and turn it back around and land it facing this direction. It's a dream that's reality, and it's so hard to explain what that feels like. It goes against everything you've known to do because you're just defying gravity.
It's not a machine. It's an extension of your body. The only thing you see are the two handles in front of you. And when you don't think about it, then it becomes very smooth, very natural, and it takes a lot of the fear factor out of it, too.
One of the biggest problems with the Rocketbelt is its duration. It only lasts for about 25 seconds.
The next generation is jet engines, and that's what we are working together with other Rocketeers and trying to design a jetpack.
If you go to a jet belt, you don't think in seconds, but in minutes, and you don't think in feet, but in miles. And that's the future of personal flying devices, the jet belts.
The pre-flight we just saw was 15 seconds, and 46 years ago it was 15 seconds. The capability is certainly currently limited, but they haven't done too much in the last 46 years. What the next 46 is, it's a tough call.